So we built a 48 terabyte Ryzen 3 Ubiquiti Unifi video server. So this video on it was done in May of 2018 here, and we deployed the system. Now, something important to me is that I follow up and talk about these builds and talk about what happened after we deployed them. Because there's always, whenever we build something, the internet's full of haters, and I don't mind. I've accepted. I've been on the internet for a long time. I realize there's always people who would disagree with you and argue to the nth degree. And 10 out of 403 people click the dislike button. That's fine. And I bring this up because there's always that person that sent me a message and says, you're going to fail. You should have built it with their opinion on what hardware I should have used and things like that. So let's talk about here in August of 2018, the follow-up on this system being deployed. Now I'll leave a link to the original video so you can watch the build. It's built with an MSI X370 gaming board, a AMD Ryzen 3 processor, and EVGA power supply. And like I said, all the specs are in here, and I'll leave a link to this video. So how does it work? Well, pretty good. There's 35 cameras connected to it, and 2 currently disconnected. And this is not because of us. This is because the client was playing with things. This camera's been recording perfectly fine until they decided to disconnect it for some reason. I don't know. The client owns it. They can do what they want with it. This is not actually a managed system per se by us. The client wanted to own everything. So we don't ask questions when they say, we're going to move a camera ourselves and not with you. I said, okay, so they took it apart. They haven't gotten around to putting it back. But the other cameras are all recording perfectly fine and everything works great. Some of them are the Unifi wireless ones, and we really like these. These work awesome. It's kind of cool too because you can see the link state that they have for how they're connected, the Wi-Fi strength to tell you if there's any problems with them. And we haven't had any problems at all with these cameras. They connect right away. The wireless works great on them. And no problems. And this is just a couple of them they wanted wireless because they chose to put them in afterwards and didn't want to run the wires. So that's part of the reason they chose these. They wanted them in a couple different odd spots, but didn't want to have to rerun the cable. And for those of you who maybe follow the channel, this is this big family fun center where all this is located. Now, let's talk about the system itself and the performance. Here's a bunch of the recordings, and we're going to jump and grab one of the laser tag cameras. Here's the vesting room. All right. And what I want you to be able to see here is I'm scrolling through, and even though I'm remote and limited by the connection speed, obviously it works faster when you're local and actually there, you can see it's working perfectly fine. If I want to pull up a video and see what happened, it takes a second. But most of my delay is not the system, it's streaming that high-res video back to me remotely. When you're inside, it works perfectly fine. And you can tell just by how fast it generates the thumbnails, and the only pausing really is the playback, but not because of the server, but because of bandwidth limitations. The server works fast, it indexes the files fast. We go here like to the timeline. It immediately can start indexing and pulling up the different ones. You got to pick the camera to be able to do this. But you kind of get the idea that this system, as intended, works really, really well. We have not had any issues with it. It's been great. But one of those things that I am really encourage people with is build these on Debian Linux servers, and that's what this is. If you don't build your Unifi system on a Debian Linux, every time someone has talked me into building them one and running it in Windows, I've had problems. That has been a consistent theme. I know the software being built with Java is supposed to be cross-compatible to run on different operating systems, but there just seems to be more people complaining and more bugs when I run it on Windows. Once we put these systems on Debian, they just seem to flow. They work great. And part of the reason I chose Debian and why I like running them on Linux is if you buy the genuine Unifi NVRs for some of the smaller deployments, which we have, they work great and they run Linux. And I think that's something important to think about. If that's what they ship them with, probably what you should be using too, as my suggestion. So this is really just a quick follow-up on here. The system, other than the client disconnecting a couple of the cameras, it works wonderfully. We have had no headaches, no problems. I know it's only been deployed for about 3 months that it's been hooked up and in use, but I have no complaints about this. And we have a lot of clients using these Unifi systems on the same about scale of, between 30, 35 cameras on a Linux server. They're my most trouble-free clients. Any client that I've ever been talked into because of a client request or the IT company that requested it and asked us, hey, can you put this on a Windows box, has caused us a bit of a headache. And I've seen people mention about the corrupt database thing. Yeah, we've seen that but only on the Windows ones and not on these Linux ones. But this is a quick follow-up video. This client is thrilled. They love it. They love the ease of use. They love the fact that they can view it on their phone really easy. It works fast when they're in the office. They are watching it pretty regular. So the management uses this a lot to kind of watch things. So they have things like the some of the back room areas where they can watch, or even the different hallways they can watch, like this here, so they can see what's going on inside the hallway. I mean, I love the interface for Unifi. It makes it just really easy and quick and simple to be able to do stuff. Easy and intuitive to use, so it's not like some of these other stupid interfaces that require dumb plugins and everything. So my still overall feeling on Unifi is very positive. The system works really well, and when you're local, it's even faster than this here. So that Ryzen 3 system, as spec'd out, runs a 35 camera system very well, especially a camera system like this that has a lot of activity, because this is a family fun center. These cameras are being tripped by motion. They're all set to motion record. They're being tripped by motion very frequently and are not having any issues. And the Wi-Fi cameras, like I said, these work really well too, so there's not really been any issues with any of that. All right, hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, this is the follow-up video, and I plan to do more. Maybe I'll do, this is a 3-month follow-up. Maybe I'll do a 1-year follow-up on this. I have another one that we've also been running that's similarly spec'd for over a year, and it works really well. I do have to update it to the latest version. That's on my to-do list for this wonderful holiday weekend when they don't have a lot of things going on. And the same with this. This is almost the latest version of Unifi. They just came out with another update that I'm going to load this weekend for this one. But hopefully this is helpful. If you have questions, comments, leave them below. If you hate Unifi, feel free to leave that below too. But I can tell you, as a person who's actively deployed, here's a 3-month deployment on a very active camera system, we're happy with it. So that's my take on all this. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up. Leave us some feedback below to let us know any details, what you like and didn't like as well, because we love hearing the feedback. Or if you just want to say thanks, leave a comment. If you want to be notified of new videos as they come out, go ahead and hit the subscribe and the bell icon. That lets YouTube know that you're interested in notifications. Hopefully they send them, as we've learned with YouTube. Anyways, if you want to contract us for consulting services, you go ahead and hit lawrencesystems.com, and you can reach out to us for all the projects that we can do and help you. We work with a lot of small businesses, IT companies, even some large companies, and you can farm different work out to us or just hire us as a consultant to help design your network. Also, if you want to help the channel in other ways, we have a Patreon. We have affiliate links. You'll find them in the description. You'll also find recommendations to other affiliate links and things you can sign up for on lawrencesystems.com. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.